everyone must choose a language. Give you about 30 minutes, then we could start. 30 seconds, sorry, then we could start. Okay, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Joy from Kituo cha Sheria, and I'm very happy to welcome you to our first GJN Africa Regional Assembly this year. We're joined by grassroots justice actors, paralegals, frontline defenders from across the continent, and it's really powerful to be together. I would now like to hand over to my co-moderator, Mesan. Welcome, Mesan.
Merci beaucoup, Joy. Mais bonjour à tous.
Thank you very much, Joy. Good morning, everybody. I am Messan, and I am from an organization that you all know. I would like to invite you to observe a 30-second moment of silence in solidarity with our colleagues from RDC and South Sudan. The colleagues from Nigeria and the Mozambique for the conflicts, evictions, and ongoing floodings in those countries. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Bienvenue à tous à notre première assemblée.
So, right, thank you, and happy to be with you for this new regional assembly of the Grassroots Justice Network. I would like to give the floor to Dr. Longwa, who is executive director for the IWAR organization in Nigeria that is really active and leads the GJN work in Western and Central Africa.
Sorry, there's a bit of a mistake there. It's Dr. Wambua is for Kituo cha Sheria based, and he's the executive director. So Mesan made a mistake there.
Sorry, Dr. Wambua, I think you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can. Thank you.
Now you can, eh? Okay. Yeah, so thank you, Mesan, for the introduction. Just the correction that Amina has made. Kituo cha Sheria is based in Kenya, and we are the regional anchor for Grassroots Justice Network for Eastern and Southern Africa region. So we are happy to be in this meeting. I thank the conveners for bringing us together, both the Eastern and Western part of Africa. 2025 was a very good year for us, and I look forward to listening to the accountability report from our colleagues in Grassroots Justice Network. We certainly look forward to 2026. All of us in Africa, as we were discussing before the commencement of the meeting, we seem all to be having the same challenges. Contested elections, environmental, climate injustices, displacements to pave way for large-scale infrastructure, and all these point to a serious justice gaps, which organizations like ours need to move in, empower communities so that the communities not only hold the violators accountable, but also shape the law to bring about systemic transformation in their respective countries. So I look forward to the discussions that will happen today. Look forward to actionable work plans for the year, and Kituo will be more than happy to coordinate those action points on behalf of the Grassroots Justice Network in this part of Africa. So welcome everybody, and thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup.
I wish to hand over to Amina.
Thank you. I now invite Amina Hangad, Executive Director of the IWA, based in Kano, in Nigeria this time. The IWA leads some activities from the Grassroots Justice Network.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
In West and Central Africa, welcome, Amina.
It is a pleasure to welcome you all to our first regional assembly meeting of the year. And for me, the song Africa by Wiala from Ghana, I believe beautifully sets the tone for today's meeting. For me, it's a reminder of why we continue to strive and work for peace across our beloved continent. I'd like to also begin by appreciating our shared commitments to the Grassroots Justice Network and to the principles that unite us, which is access to justice, community power, and accountability from the ground up. This regional meeting is significant. It is an opportunity for us to pause, to reflect, and be intentional about this year. Across Africa, communities are facing increasingly complex challenges. There is also the shrinking civic space, deepening inequalities, and systems that too often are failing the most marginalized. So in this context, grassroots justice is not optional. It is essential. As a regional network, our strength lies in collaboration. No single organization, country, or strategy can address these challenges alone. So during the course of this meeting, you will all be hearing about what we were able to achieve in 2025 and how these efforts position us for the year ahead. You will learn how, as a network, we amplified African voices at global platforms, built solidarity across regions, and contributed to strengthening political commitment towards accessible, inclusive, and people-centered justice systems. At the same time, we remained grounded in our core work, which is supporting communities at the grassroots, strengthening local justice actors, and ensuring that lived realities continue to inform policy and practice. The Grassroots Justice Network is also our safe space, a space to remind ourselves that we are not alone, to learn from one another, and also to openly share our experiences and our lessons. It must continue to be a space not only for sharing, but for shaping regional narratives and influencing systems at national, regional, and global levels. So as we look ahead to 2026, our focus will remain on deepening coordination, on strengthening our collective voice, and maximizing our impact where it matters most. I hope today's conversations will inspire, energize, and guide the important work that we are all doing across our respective contexts and countries. Thank you. Mesan?
Merci beaucoup, Oui, merci beaucoup,
Thank you
Amina.
very much.
Je vais inviter à
I will
présent
now
Lamine Ousseck
invite
de Natural Justice,
Lamine Sek from
basé
Natural
à
Justice based
Dakar
in
au
Senegal
Sénégal.
to take the
Alors, le
floor.
pôle Sénégal de
The
Natural
Senegal
Justice
Hub
est un acteur majeur
is a
des
leading
discussions
actor
sur
in the
l'autonomisation
debates
juridique en Afrique
on
francophone
legal
et
empowerment in
a
Francophone
soutenu
Africa,
diverses
and
initiatives
it has
d'apprentissage
supported
avec
many
notre réseau
learning
GJN.
initiatives with the
Alors,
Grassroots Justice
Lamine,
Network.
bonjour.
Lamine,
Veuillez
you
prendre
have
la
the
parole.
floor.
Bonjour, maintenant, j'espère que
Good
vous me
morning,
recevez bien.
Messan. Good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me well.
Oui, ça va bien, merci, Lamine.
All fine, Lamine.
Donc,
Please go ahead.
bonjour à tout le monde.
So, good morning, everybody.
Merci de
And
nous avoir
thank you
permis de prendre
for
part à cette
giving
importante
us the floor.
rencontre.
We are very happy to take
Nous
part
sommes ici
in
donc,
this
au
important
Sénégal,
regional
à
assembly. We
Natural
are here
Justice.
in
Moi, je suis
Senegal.
responsable de
I am
programme.
the
Je conduis tout le travail que Natural
responsible for
Justice fait
programs,
dans
program
la mise
director,
en œuvre de
and
l'autonomisation
we have been
juridique,
working very
l'approche
hard in
d'autonomisation
implementation
juridique qui est une
actions
approche qui
for
permet donc
legal empowerment through
de
approaches
permettre
that
aux
will allow
communautés qui sont
us
victimes
to
d'injustice de pouvoir
defend the
comprendre
victims,
comment
the
elles doivent lutter
communities,
contre cette
get them to
injustice-là.
understand how they
Non
can
seulement
defend
nous, on
themselves,
travaille
know
à
their
niveau
rights,
communautaire,
and
mais dans le cadre un peu de ce que Messan a dit
we
au
also
niveau
work
de
in
l'Afrique francophone,
the framework of
d'essayer d'essayer d'enrôler le
French-speaking
maximum
Africa
d'organisations
with many
d'engager des
organizations
discussions avec des
that
organisations là pour harmoniser les
have great
approches, mais tout dans
discussions
la
with
perspective
other
un peu de
actors
comment faire
through
pour
the
promouvoir plus
prism
de justice
of
au niveau communautaire.
a
Mais notre
better and
travail
a
ne se
deeper
limite pas
justice
seulement au
for
niveau
the
communautaire. Nous
communities.
travaillons aussi à
We do
influencer
work to influence
les responsables qui prennent les
the
décisions sur ces questions-là,
responsibles
avoir
and
des voix. Comment faire pour que
decision
dans
and
le cadre de
policymakers
l'élaboration des textes de loi aussi,
that
on
do
prenne en
take
compte les
decisions
revendications des communautés.
and so
Donc
that
c'est
they
ça
can
que nous
hear
faisons.
the
Donc
voice
avec
of
nos
the
amis du
community
Bénin,
we are working with.
du Togo, nos amis de toute
From
l'Afrique de
all
l'Ouest. Nous
Africa,
travaillons
Senegal,
régulièrement
Togo,
à
and
améliorer
many
nos approches,
countries,
mais
we
aussi
are
à se
working on
constater qu'il y
those
a énormément
approaches and
de
we
réseaux qui se sont
try
constitués et
to
de canaux
set
de
up some
discussion entre les
governance element.
organisations
We are
pour permettre
trying
un peu
to
en
increase
Afrique
the
surtout
debates
francophone de promouvoir
within the
l'existence du communautaire. Pour
French-speaking
l'instant, c'est
African
ça que je peux
communities.
dire.
So
Encore une
that's the
fois, merci
basis
pour
of our
cette
work,
entente
and
de
thanks
prendre
very
part à
much
cet
once more
événement-là. Merci
for
beaucoup.
inviting us to take part in this
Merci beaucoup,
meeting.
Lamine.
Thank you very much, Lamine.
Nous allons passer maintenant
We
à un
will
moment
now
de
give
détente
the floor
que nous appelons brise-glace.
to
Alors, nous
a
allons vous donner la
ice-breaking
parole.
moment.
Ceci
We
aux
will give the
responsables
floor then
du
for
réseau
this
ont parlé. Vous
to
allez
a
prendre aussi
member
la
of
parole et vous
the
donner
networks,
vos
and
impressions.
you will be able to
Nous donner
speak
vos
and give
impressions sur cette année qui a
your
commencé et souligner
feelings about
en une
this
phrase vos
year
motivations
that's
à poursuivre le travail
beginning. And
au cours de
please,
cette année.
in
Alors, vous
a
allez
short
le mettre dans
sentence,
la
you
boîte à
can highlight in the
discussion.
chat what keeps you
Nous
committed
allons
to
nous faire le
this
plaisir
work, share
de
your
le lire.
feelings.
Alors, à vous la parole.
So you now have the floor.
Vos impressions sur cette année. Alors, vous allez nous le
How
mettre
do
au
you
niveau
feel
du...
about this
Merci
new
beaucoup.
year?
Chers
Thank you very
participants.
much. We will leave you a moment for this.
Et aussi, si quelqu'un veut le dire en live, il peut
If
prendre la parole et le dire
someone wants
directement
to
ses
take the
impressions
floor
sur cette
and
année.
share
Et surtout ce qui
his or
vous
her
motive
feelings
dans
and the
votre engagement pour le
motivations
travail
for
de
this
l'autonomisation juridique
work
qui est
in
la
terms
base
of
au
justice
concours
and
cette
legal
année.
empowerment for this year.
Merci
Please
beaucoup.
feel free, open your mic or raise your
Nous
hand.
attendons vos réactions dans le...
We are waiting for your reactions in the chat.
Bonjour, je suis
Good
Lugendo,
morning, I am
du
Lugendo
Sobokelwa de la RDC pour le
from
compte
the
alternative management sur les
DRC,
marchés.
and
Je suis vraiment
I am
intéressé
really interested
par l'ensemble du travail que nous sommes
in
en
all
train de
the work
réaliser,
that
par le
we
fait
have
que
undertaken,
le fonctionnement des
especially
est en grande partie limité au niveau
the
national,
approaches
au
that
niveau des entités provinciales ou des États.
take into account the voice of community. I want to share them and voice them at a better level. The justice work is really important. The justice work with communities should be increased so as to influence more defense actions, justice, so that the peoples and community really can know their rights, because sometimes they are far from the decision-making centers. So we do have to increase our work to voice those messages and get the legal and justice information to the people, to the communities. It is important to be aligned with the community, but also with the laws, so that people can know their rights. And it is also important that people get to know the laws and do not ignore them. We do have to be very strict in our ambitions, because in a country such as ours, we do have many problems of accessibility in transports and many things, but with will and a strong will and support, I am sure that we will be able to tackle all those hurdles. We have already begun doing so, and I hope we will be going on sharing and working. Thank you very much. Thank you, Messan, and thanks to all the participants. Thank you, Lugendo.
Partagez vos réactions dans le chat, s'il vous plaît.
Please feel free to share your feelings in the chat. And if you're not taking the floor, please silence your mic. Thank you.
Nous avons quelques réactions que nous allons partager.
We already have some reactions in the chat.
Merci beaucoup. Nous allons continuer.
Thank you very much.
Je passe la parole à Ismail pour la suite.
I will now give the floor to Ismail.
Thank you very much, Mesang. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. My name is Ismail. Okay, can I go on? All right. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Everyone, I am Ismail Abdullahi from Isawali Empowerment Initiative, the anchor organization responsible for. Mesa, you said?
Lugendo a son micro ouvert. J'aimerais qu'il éteigne son micro.
Lugendo has his mic on. Could you please put it on mute? Thank you.
Okay.
You can continue, please. My...
All right. So, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. I am Ismail Abdullahi from Isawali Empowerment Initiative, IWE, the anchor organization for West and Central Africa. So I'm going to take us through few parts of what we have been able to achieve the previous year. So if we could remember, since the inception of Grassroots Justice Network, our work has always has been through three main pillars. That is learning, collective action, as well as building a community of solidarity. So from the learning angle, 2025, we focused on two main items, that is building community power learning cycle, as well as development of building community power curriculum. On the learning cycle, from our online course in 2024, our 18 participants that were able, member organizations that were able to get funds from LEF through their participation in the learning course that we have conducted in 2024, we were able to conduct two learning sessions with these with our participants. And from those sessions, we were able to get two organizations share their own learnings in each of the sessions that we were able to hold during that period. And you can be able to get access to these discussions or recordings of those learning sessions that were conducted in the chat box right now, which is going to be shared right now in the chat box. Then, with regard to the building community power curriculum, the three organizations, that is Isawali Implement Initiative, Quito, and also the Natural Justice, were able to also lead in developing a curriculum that has to do with building community power. And 9 Francophone organizations and 11 Anglophone organizations also supported in the process as well, which are also part of members of our core group. So as part of the curriculum, we were able to come up with, or I would say we are still working on developing the curriculum to contain, part of it is the what is power. We have collective or community power. We also have using legal empowerment to build power. Then we have grassroots leadership. We have collective action, as well as tracking and measuring impact. So these are the key headlines of the building community power curriculum that we have been working on developing, and we're still working on it. So collectively, the members of this of the GJN were able to gather knowledge and also live experience of grassroots justice actions across the continent. And also through these rich conversations, immersive field visit, and collaborative analysis also, members are also turning everyday practice into dynamic learning modules that can be used within the continent and also beyond the continent. So in that curriculum also, stories, insights, and from community justice centers, paralegals, and frontline justice actors are shaping and the building community power to fight injustice curriculum. So all this, we are going to be getting those in the curriculum so that it can be a lived-in document that can also be practicalized and used within our own context and communities, and also wherever we want to use it or however we want to use the curriculum. Also, the resources captures real struggles, strategies, and also victories. We are really, really excited to share this curriculum with you all free of charge, so that you can also learn and also share your own experiences using the curriculum that we are going to be sharing with you as soon as it is completed. Thank you very much. And I now hand over to Joy, who is going to take us through advocacy and collective action. Joy, over to you.
Thank you, Ishmael. So we did take part in advocacy and collective action efforts last year. Starting off, we had the Advancing People-Centered Justice at the ACHPR, Africa Regional Forum. So the Grassroots Justice Network, together with Kituo and IWay, partnered with the African Alliance for People-Centered Justice, the International Development Law Organization, and the United Nations Development Programme to convene the Africa Regional Forum on People-Centered Justice on the sidelines of the 86th Ordinary Session of the Africa Commission on Human and People's Rights. Together with partners, we convened the Africa Regional Forum on People-Centered Justice. And some of these partners was IWay from Nigeria. We had Lady Ellen Women's Aid Foundation from Sierra Leone. We had the Legal Resources Center, Ghana, Africa Center of Excellence for Access to Justice, Natural Justice from Senegal, and Mulede from Mozambique. And together we amplified African voices, build solidarity, and strengthen political commitment towards accessible, inclusive, and people-centered justice systems. These engagements helped amplify African grassroots voices and build solidarity, and moved forward conversations towards a resolution on legal empowerment and people-centered justice in Africa. We then had the OGP, the Open Government Partnership. There was the OGP Global Summit 2025 that happened in Spain. Now, GJN Africa, represented by Sylvester Honey, contributed to the national and local practices for effective people-centered justice panel. Drawing on Ghana's experience, he highlighted how legal empowerment translates open government principles into practice, showing how national and local actors could design justice commitments that center community voices. We had the Africa Regional and Middle East meeting in collaboration with the Kenya Judiciary, African Center of Excellence for Access to Justice, Kituo cha Sheria, and the Legal Resource Center, Ghana. GJN organized a side event at the OGP Africa Region and Middle East meeting. And the session explored how deliberate engagement in justice processes strengthens and promotes open government values of transparency, accountability, and active citizen participation. Then we had the World Justice Forum in Poland, which was in Warsaw, and partners shared insights on community-driven justice, including work on climate justice and land rights while learning from global peers. Then finally, we had the International Access to Justice Forum in New York. GJN showed how community-rooted approaches are transforming legal systems to reflect real-life experiences. The session explored how legal empowerment unites the power of people and the law to fight injustice, featuring the IDD's work on justice for incarcerated people in Brazil, the in-person paralegal program in Ghana by POS, and NASDAQ's advocacy for women's housing rights in India. I now would like to hand over to Nuria to take us through connecting the African community.
Hello, hi everyone. Welcome again to our GJN Africa Regional Assembly. My name is Nuria and I work with the Grassroots Justice Network based in Nairobi, Kenya. So I'll be taking you through, sorry about that. I'll be taking you through connecting the African community, and that's basically through the in-person and virtual activities that we usually have to build engagements for our African community. As we're all aware, we have a GJN Africa WhatsApp group that primarily offers financial opportunities, learning opportunities, and other engagements, and spotlighting what our members have been doing on the ground. So in 2025, our strategy was to have more engagement on our platform, and we called this our WhatsApp strategy. So we were able to showcase, sorry about that, we were able to build out our Francophone community and our Anglophone community. And with this, I think we are close to 800 members currently. So on the next slide, sorry, Sylvester, please, the next slide. Okay, so in terms of one of our physical activities, we were able to conduct community justice center visits. And so for these community justice center visits, we visited 4 organizations, 3 in Kenya and 1 in Nigeria. And that is We the People, Vihiga Community Justice Center, Nakuru Community Justice Center, and Reshape CBO. In terms of the areas that we are looking at, and in these visits, we wanted to see how our members are implementing their organizational operations, the project management and sustainability initiatives. We're able to document paralegal experiences, their community engagement in community forums. We're able to see them grow their paralegal networks and indulge more youth groups and women groups within the movement. And so part of this documentation was carrying out interviews. We interviewed George from Nakuru Community Justice Center and also the great team at Reshape, that is Maggie and Assunta. And we're able to see some of these paralegal experiences and learn and relearn what building community power actually looks like on the ground level. And so through these initiatives, we'll be able to share with you these experiences and these findings as articles, as blog, as social media posts, and even hopefully videos on our platforms. So the next slide. One of our biggest offerings on our WhatsApp community is our Just Monday Learnings. And just to give context to some of our new members, Just Monday Learnings are articles shared on WhatsApp through direct messages and also through our announcements group. The Just Mondays are short PDFs that just introduce us and continue to engage us in legal empowerment concepts. We've covered so much in the last year. We've talked about building grassroots leadership. We've highlighted legal empowerment strategies that members are initiating in their communities. We've also highlighted member stories within these learnings, and we've seen great success in terms of the reception and the reiteration of these articles. We've seen our organizations who've implemented the same Just Monday concept within their own projects, within their own communities as project reports. And it has been great to see that some of the learnings also acquired in this virtual and in-person exchanges being implemented in the community. So in case you want to join our WhatsApp community, we launched our 2025 newsletter, I think beginning of this week. And please, I'll share a link to our WhatsApp community. I'll also share the French and English version of our 2025 newsletter. So within this newsletter, you'll be able to see member stories from members like Ange Marie in Benin. You'll be able to see some of the activities that have been highlighted in this engagement or in this webinar or discussion. And you also have links to join our WhatsApp community and our Members Friday activity. And so I think with that, I'll hand it over back to Mesan. Thank you. Mesan, I don't know if you can hear me.
Alors, merci beaucoup, Nouria. Alors, nous allons encore une
Thank
fois
you
vous
very
donner la
much,
parole.
Noya. I will give you the floor
Avec nous, tout ce que nous faisons dans
again
notre communauté, dans notre réseau.
soon. So you have just seen what we do in our community, what we do at GJN. If you haven't understand something, you can just add your question. You can raise any concern in the chat, or you can also raise your hand if you want to speak. And we will make sure to clarify any point that you may deem necessary. So you have the floor.
La parole est libre. Levez la main pour prendre la
You
parole.
may raise your hand if you want to speak, or you can raise your question in the chat directly. Thank you.
J'ai une main.
I think there's a hand raising. Yuka, you have the floor.
En tout cas, bonjour à tout le monde.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year to all the participants and to all the members of GJN. I would like to get an idea of what we are up to in 2026 and what document is being elaborated. Will there be any existing document in order for us to know if there's a possibility if there's such a document, could you maybe make it available for everyone, a document in order to know what are the plans for next year? As Nuria said a minute ago, they are still working on this document about the future development of the work program. It's still a work in progress. We are still compiling content. A part of it was written by French-speaking countries, another one by English-speaking countries. But thank you very much. I see that Lugendo is raising his hand.
Bonjour.
Lugendo,
Bonjour,
please.
encore une fois.
Good morning again to everyone. It's very good to see the amount of work that was done already, and I'm sure that the future perspective will be very positive. However, there are some concerns about the work that was done in the sub-regions, because with the information and communication technologies that we are using, that allows us to collect our activities, I think that the community centers, I think it was in Kenya, if I'm not mistaken. I would like to know what work was done at the sub-region level, because, for example, in Western Africa, much has been done already. How could we get access to these resources in the West African region? And how and what could we do in order to pursue this work in other African regions? Thank you. Thank you very much, Lugendo.
Je ne sais pas si Joy va vous répondre, mais je vais apporter un essai de réponse.
My colleague will reply to you, but I will try to bring some elements of answer. As we said before, maybe that's because you didn't work with us, like Loka. Loka was part of the French-speaking group. You will get soon the continuity of our work. I will give the floor to Yvette so she can complete the answer.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone.
Sylvester.
Yes,
Sorry.
Sylvester. That's
Sorry.
okay. That's okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And hi, everyone. So, like Mesan rightly said, I know that there is a WhatsApp group, the Francophone WhatsApp group, apart from the general GJN that has 800 membership that Nuri has highlighted. There's a Francophone WhatsApp group, and then there's also the Anglophone WhatsApp group. In terms of the work that we did in the region, in a quick summary, when it comes to learning, like Ishmael rightly touched on, there was the learning circles, which was informed by the Building Community Power course we ran in 2024, and 18 people received earlier funding to implement a community-led project. So based on that, we had 2 sessions of learning circles from there, and we will share the links to the material that summarizes the ideas from that discussion with you. The other thing was what Mesan has also mentioned, that is a building community power curriculum development, which is about 6 topics. The Francophone, led by Natural Justice, together with support from Mesan and the other Francophone organizations, worked to develop those curriculum. And then there's also the English cohort, and that was led by JEI, supported by LRC, and then Society for Gender Justice in Zambia, supported by the POS Foundation, also were in cohort. Aside these people, Kito and Iwe also developed topics on their own. So all these information, we have received them, and then we need to technically look at it because we did not have enough time to do the technical reviews and all that. So by the time we finalize these documents, it will be shared with you. But again, the document from the learning circles, including this presentation that we have done for this meeting, will be shared with all of you when the meeting is over. And also one of the work that we did, like Joy highlighted, was the advocacy and collective engagement we did at African Union, the OGP platform, among the other things. So let me quickly, having said that, let me quickly go into what we intend to do for 2026. Let me say that these are not finalized plans yet. They are things that, apart from 1 or 2, which is finalized, the rest are things that we need to agree with IWE, Kito, and Natural Justice, including the joint core group members. Then we can come back to you with details of how these things would be run. So for 2026, yes, we are still operating under the 3 core pillars, taking ideas from the Africa strategy that we all worked on. So we will still do learning, we will still do advocacy, and then we'll still do building community. But when it comes to learning, one of the key flagship things that we have been discussing over the period from last year is the Grassroots Justice Academy, which we are seeking to launch in March. And this academy would actually be a world-class institute that will focus on learning and strengthening community of grassroots justice work. Like I said, applications would open in March. We will still come with you. We'll come back to you with all the details on how you can do the applications and all that. Yeah. And then in the second part of the year, we would also have self-paced courses, which will start around September thereabouts. You can also apply or take some of the self-paced courses in respect to the Grassroots Justice Academy. One of the important things I want to talk about is how we as network members can be involved in the academy. So the first thing will be for you to possibly apply to participate in the leadership program, because the leadership program is actually the flagship program of the academy. That is what we are using to start the academy. So you can apply to be part. When the applications open in March, you can apply to be part of the leadership program. I think it will run from it's a 3-month program, so all those details will be shared. The other way too is that when the self-paced courses are launched, you can also take those courses. Then aside that, there would be regional workshops that will be organized online. That one too, you can participate in those ones. And an example like what Nuri did with Ange Marie's interview, which has been published on our website. You can develop a story or a short piece about your work. Details of these would be shared with you during the launch in March, and we will still come to Kito and IWE to finalize information around these ones, and we will share them with the wider network so that everybody is not left out. Everybody comes to know about what we are doing under learning. This is important because from our discussion in the beginning, Kito is the regional anchor for the network when it comes to East and Horn of Africa. And then IWE is also the anchor when it comes to West and Central Africa. And again, Natural Justice also is helping with the Francophone work in Africa. So we will come with details on the Grassroots Justice Academy and the way forward. But now these are the things that we feel it is important for you to know so that maybe you can start thinking or preparing around these ones. Then again, learning will still continue, but we are looking forward that by the time we are done, we go into in-depth discussion with Kito Iway and also seek the ideas from the joint core group. We are saying that there will still be skills building opportunity that will focus on documentation, analysis, and resource mobilization. There would also be how to use participation action research in our work. We are looking at how we can work around learning around that. And we will still continue to have engagement and spotlight of stories, what members are doing, success stories, and all that. We will still continue to do that. When it comes to advocacy, stemming from our engagement in the Gambia last year, and like Joyce said, certain actionable points has come up, which we need to still continue. So therefore, we're still going to make our presence felt at these global spaces. So we would continue with our advocacy at the African level, African Commission level, and then the OGP platform. For the African Commission level, we are sticking to work with the African Commission to come up with a resolution on legal empowerment and people-centered justice in Africa. And it's a work in progress. So we will still continue that engagement and then also work with OGP in terms of justice commitment and other things that comes out from the OGP. So the advocacy will still continue. Then when it comes to connecting the African community, I always want Nuri to do this because this is Nuri's baby. So Nuri.
Thank you, Sylvester. So, so in terms of connecting the African community, we are planning to continue having another regional online assembly like what we've had today. And as if some of you can remember, we also marked the 16 days of activism last year. We had
Nuri, you are muted.
Oops, I'm so sorry for that. So yeah, thank you, Sylvester. In terms of connecting the African community for the 2026 plans, as we have today, we have a regional online assembly, and we're hoping to have another regional online assembly sometime in the year. If some of you can remember, we marked the 16 days of activism last year, and that was covered. We had a webinar that covered cybersecurity for young girls and the youth within the African community. We also showcased about 16. We had a 10-day member spotlighting campaign that went on our WhatsApp activity where we were highlighting our members and the work that they're doing under the theme of 2025 16 Days of Activism event. And so we are hoping to do the same this year, and also to look at other activities that we can also take part in the WhatsApp community. We'll launch again our annual newsletter at the end of the year, like we did for 2025. And then we also have a media summary to just give us a recap within the half of the year, just to see at what activities we are engaging in and where we currently are in terms of our work plans. We'll continue to implement, just to the slide before that. So we'll continue also implementing our WhatsApp strategies, and just to have a more intentional learning space for all our members to share. I did see a question on the chat in terms of whether there's a community where both Anglophone and Francophone members engage. And yes, we do have a WhatsApp community under our WhatsApp GJN Africa group. You'll see various groups or communities that you can join. We have one that's the GJN community, that's open to both Anglophone and Francophone members. And then we have a separate Anglophone and separate Francophone community. So maybe other activities that I think we're really passionate about in 2026 is to connect with more organizations and groups and justice defenders within Africa, with a particular effort to connect with youth groups and youth associations. So if you are new to this regional assembly, I did share the links to join our WhatsApp group. Please introduce yourself once you join the WhatsApp. We'd love to know which community you're representing and the kind of work that you're doing. As Sylvester had also mentioned, we'll continue to have more learning opportunities both in our WhatsApp group and in the academy, as he talked about. So we want to continue to shape discussions and engagements on WhatsApp around legal empowerment efforts from justice defenders. We also want to create more opportunities of learning and support for members, and that includes continuous sharing of funding opportunities, and also including virtual workshops to target some of the capacity building elements that our members have raised. As you can see from the slide that has been shared, we do have the funding opportunities as mentioned. We also have thematic learning where we want to have more community calls with themes and topics that are inspired by the members in our GJN Africa community. We also have the last activity, which is our Members Friday. We run this for a while, and then we just want to open it up to you members to please feel free to share feedback in terms of what's working and what isn't. We have a form that's available in the 2025 newsletter where you can register to be highlighted on our Members Friday, and that just gives us an opportunity to know about your work better, to be able to also see the kind of engagement you can take part in. I think that's it for me. I'll just hand it over back to Sylvester.
Thank you very much, Nuri. And I think at this point, what we'll do is that we'll hand it back to the moderators to take us through the questions, comments session. So Mesan, Joy, Ishmael, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Sylvester. Thank you, Nuri, for that presentation. And that was, I believe that was really robust. And we expect to see new members joining our community. Yes, the more we grow, the more we're able to give out our best. So the room is now open for comments, questions, or even recommendations, please. So you can raise your hand or put in the comment section, please. Okay.
Ishmael, I see that there are a few questions in the chat. Maybe you could go through them.
All right.
But can I just go? Can I go?
Okay, so please go ahead first. Go ahead. We can before you go to the question. Please go ahead.
Voilà, merci beaucoup. Donc, je voulais juste.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to underline what Sylvester and Nuria mentioned. Some French-speaking African actors are wondering if it is possible to have a network with an increased participation, because we set up some debate spaces, but they are open. But it is sometimes hard to get new participants on the east of the DRC. So I think it would be interesting because some participants are worried about their possibility of participating or integrating a group. So I would like to reassure them they can. These are exchange spaces and everybody is very welcome. I wanted to highlight this. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. That is very, very much important to share. So I see a message from Mariama Mama Sambo. Her question is, as a newcomer, first time to take part of the meeting, is it possible to integrate Francophone WhatsApp group as association working in the human rights field to take advantage from the GJN for the upcoming day? So I'm not sure if I get your question, but yes, all our members, that was why we are always asking people to, we're always telling people to join and share their experiences. So of course, by joining the WhatsApp group, you can be able to learn and also connect with other members. I guess that, I hope that answers your question. Then I think there is one in French. If you can help us, if you can read that.
Oui, je vais la lire. Et c'est le
I'm going to
bureau
read it.
de la RDC qui nous demande
Our colleague from the DRC is asking about the evolution of the African strategy for the French speakers. That began some time ago. Well, it is still on course. It's not been interrupted. As Sylvester was mentioning, you will have more information during this year. Please don't worry.
Yeah, sure. Sure. So, what has been the evolution of the Francophone African strategy that began in time of, okay, that was what was just shared. Okay. Okay, I saw the idea of Members Friday is very exciting from Dr. Wambua. He said the idea of the Members Friday is very exciting. Can we make at least one of the Fridays in a month live, a live event? How one or two organizations showcase their work to a live audiences. I think that's a very good something that we can take a look at. Thank you very much, Atombo, for sharing that. So, Mesang, we have a French comment.
Sure, maybe before the French comment, Ishmael, maybe before the French comment, Dr. Wambua, I get what you're saying, but can we please hear you throw more light on it so that even the new members can understand the concept that you are proposing, and therefore when we are working around it, it becomes easy for all of us. Can you please speak to the issue?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Wambua. Please.
Yes, Dr. Wambua.
Yes. It's just creating a platform where members can get to know what organizations within the network are doing within their respective countries. And one way of doing that is having a Zoom meeting just once a month, then allow one or two organizations to present to all of us what they're doing, challenges they're getting, what's working, what's not working. That will also keep the network alive. It will also enrich our experiences on what actually is happening on the ground in other parts of the continent. And it doesn't have to be a mandatory activity. It's whoever is willing to attend, I mean, that's fine. If nobody attends, again, that's fine. Those who will attend, I'm sure, will benefit from the information that will be shared. That's what I had in mind.
Okay.
Over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wambua. And Jamia, before you come, in terms of the plans for 2026, I forgot something. So I want to bring it back so that it can still help our discussion. So as part of the discussions that happened at the World Justice Forum, the session that was convened by the Grassroots Justice Network and the discussions with Quito and other partners, one of the things that we want to do is to try and inculcate the work of the land, environmental, and climate justice into what we are doing so that we do not work in silos. So I want to quickly invite my colleague Anne who is the LEC team member based in Nairobi, Africa office, to touch briefly on that, and then we can continue with the comment and question session. Anne.
Thank you, Sylvester. So as Sylvester has introduced me, my name is Anne. I work with the Global Land, Environment and Climate team at NAMATI and the Grassroots Justice Network. And as Sylvester has also mentioned, is that this year we are looking to integrating the land environment, the movement building on land, environment and climate in Africa. And to have specific, and it could take, different forms. It could be having specific spaces to come together and discuss the different land, environment, and climate issues that are happening within Africa and that are unique within Africa. And it could also be a space for us to do regional advocacy that is focused on land, environment, and climate issues. And even Sylvester also mentioned about us launching the Grassroots Justice Network Academy. And so this could also be a space for us to have a cohort-based model for some of the land, environment, and climate courses that we will be having at the academy. So most of these plans and activities are not like farmed up yet, but we'll be happy to hear your comments. And once we have concrete plans that have been, finalized, we are going to share with you, and we look forward to connecting with all of you, and specifically those of you working within the land, environment, and climate space. Thank you, Sylvester.
Thank you, Anne. So, Ishmael, Joy, Mesan, back to the questions, please. I think Jemai's hand was up before I interjected. So, Jemai, if you want to maybe ask your question or the comments you wanted to make, please. The floor is open.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jamia from Kibra Community Justice Center. And I wanted just to comment that I like that idea of we having, be it a Zoom meeting once per month, and also the WhatsApp group at times, you find some members could not access it. As much as today I've seen the link have been shared, because some of our members, I tried to share with them, I don't know what's up, maybe they're not being accepted in, so that we can be sharing the Monday activities that we do at our centers. And talking of the climate justice and land, Kibra Community Justice Center, we were forefront on land matters and on land justice. And I think it will be a good idea that with the academy, if we could be doing something, because where even our office is situated, there is a river along there. And we were trying to do something known as Takanipato. We do collect the, we clean along the river line, we collect the bottle, and then we convert it to do something like basket weaving with those products. We take it somewhere, and then it's being processed. I think those are things that we can be sharing out, sharing different ideas with different people, different region, and we see how they're doing their climate justice, which is going to be very helpful to our centers. As Kibra is well known for things that happens, the happening which is going on globally, and the upgrade which is coming up. So I think it's going to be a very good idea if all of us can be included in the group, so that we can be sharing the idea and helping each other on doing those. Thank you so much. I support the idea of us being brought together in one WhatsApp group. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jamia, for that suggestion. And yes, it's something we can take a look at. Mesan, can you please read the comment from Anne Marie? It's in French, I see.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much.
Du Kenya, je crois, qui dit, nous enseignons aux communautés leurs droits constitutionnels, en
It is a
que
comment
prévu
about
par
the
la
right of
Constitution pénale de 2010.
communities and what
Je
is
vais encore plus
foreseen
loin.
in the constitutions.
Bon, ça, c'est un autre commentaire. L'idée du vendredi.
And there was the other comment, I think you were referring to this, that is the members, the Friday of members. It is very interesting, says Ange Marie in the chat. Maybe we could organize this one Friday per month with a live event and ask one or two organizations to present the work. So that was in the chat. We mentioned it before. So if anybody wants to add anything, do another suggestion. or try to enrich our General Assembly, please feel free, open your mic or raise your hand.
Oui, moi je vais revenir un peu sur
Yes, I would like to go back to an issue that's important for us.
Je voudrais peut-être suggérer comment est-ce qu'on
Maybe we could suggest to value the members' work through the network. That would be a good idea to make the most of the Friday of members, but also we could produce or draft some documents, or is there any other option to document the ideas, the impact assessment, or any information that would be useful for the network to take actions and see what the others are doing. That will be very inspiring. Also, it will allow us to discover what the colleagues are doing. That was what I wanted to share. Thank you so much, Ange-Marie. I think that Sylvester and Nuria already mentioned it. This document is quite a general document that will be shared with everybody from the inspiration of the community organizations. Maybe you've already seen this. And we showed in the slide that the organization are working as a network, sharing experiences, and it is actually a great opportunity for the network to share, to divulgate, to disseminate the experience, all that is shared, as Sylvester mentioned a moment ago. So I think it is something that mostly gives an answer to the comment made by Ange-Marie and its suggestion. Does anybody else want to share anything or suggest? Right, so I think that there is no more questions. I will review the chat.
Yes, my son. Yeah. So if we don't have any questions or comments yet, let me do something quickly. So before the start of the call, we were about 35, but now we are running around 75, 74 thereabout. So I want to take this opportunity to quickly do this. So we talked about solidarity with our network members in DRC, Mozambique, and Nigeria. DRC, with respect to the conflict that is happening. In fact, I just got a personal message from Sylvain, who has been trying countless effort to even join the call, but the internet is not too good for him to do so. He and many of our network members are in the DRC, so we want to assure them that we stand in the solidarity with them. Also in Mozambique, what is happening currently, the flooding issue that happened in Mozambique, we want to stand in solidarity with them as well. And then our colleagues in Nigeria, particularly in Lagos, with the issue of the forced eviction that is happening. So we want to stand in solidarity with them. So what I will do is that there are two things for us to do, maybe before I hand over to Nuri. There are two things for us to do, then we end the session. We are doing very well on time. So as part of the solidarity, I am going to play a music that some of us we missed at the beginning of the call to let them know that we are standing in solidarity with them. It's, I think, a 7 minute music video. When the video is done, what we'll do is that we will take a group picture, and if Nuri has any announcement or whatsoever, then we will take the announcement, and then we would be out of your way. So please, I'm going to share my screen now, and then we would listen to the song, and then we would wrap it up. So just give me a minute. The internet is failing me now. Is it because I spoke about it?